Hello there, gang, and welcome to another episode of Displaying-Model-Behaviour, the Earth's mightiest video podcast. So take off your pants, crack a beer, and let's talk toys. Let's talk about the nerdy news that you need to know about. It's the only news that matters. It's good news. And on today's show, we're going to kick things off with some good news from one of the good brothers, Shartimus Prime, the big dog of the action figure reviewing community. I call him that. I don't know. Is there anyone else who has like a bigger footprint on the landscape? I don't know if there is. If there is, let me know. Regardless, I'm getting off track already. Street Humans, his Kickstarter line that he tried kickstarting at the worst time in the world to possibly kickstart something. Of course, you wouldn't have known back in 2020 that was going to be the case, but yeah, the preceding couple of years were a little bit rough. So now that the world is good again, Kickstarter for Street Humans is coming back, and oh my goodness, just look at what these things are. They just look so... Dude, you done it. So many times when people comment or reviewers comment about action figures, I'm sure some folks think, especially in the toy industry, well, I'd like to see you do better. Okay. So here we have what I would consider the ultimate set of thugs, of street hoodlums that your Marvel Legends and G.I. Joe characters can scale beautifully with and probably beat the bejesus out of. Beat the bricks off these guys. It's going to be great fun to see Captain America or Snake Eyes essentially mugging these folks. But you know what? It's going to look awesome. And these look so promising. So not only are they thugs, but you can also see they have these kind of alien animal heads as well. So if you want to do some mixing and matching and swapping, you can have more sort of monstrous, unusual, creative looking characters. And I got no dog in this race. I'm not a part of, Team Shartimus Prime or Kickstarter or anything. I like seeing people in the community doing stuff for themselves, and that's just so cool to see. So these guys, these two here that we've got up, just look at all the interchangeable parts we're talking, with the different hoodie bodies as well, that you can just get two of these, and then with the amount of display options, with all the different heads you've got as well, each one it looks like they come with 4 different heads, the different hands, the jumpers have sleeves as well, kind of like the lab coats that some of the Marvel Legends have. Really clever designs with the ab crunch there as well, torso swivel. I'm looking at these and I'm just thinking, yeah. In fact, if I might even do one of my favorite little quotes, this is how we do it. This is how it should be done. So Shartimus Prime, bravo dude for getting this Kickstarter back on track. If you want to see more information about it, go and follow it at, that's like the at, street_humans_SP figures. You can follow that on all the various social media links, keep up to date with the project, and hopefully get on board, because credit where it's due, man. These might be pretty awesome. And now it's one of the most fun times of the year because it's PowerCon. And PowerCon is where we get some of the more bespoke, zhuzhed up, slightly not just, I wouldn't say high-end, but more just artistically creative action figure manufacturers flexing their muscles and showing their stuff. And here, Fresh Monkey Fiction, love that name, they're showing their new line of Voyager figures. Right now, the physical ones are just in the prototype stage, but we got these pictures here as well. And you can see that we are going for high concept space fantasy. And you know what? Those are 3 words that kind of mash my potatoes. I'm so excited about all the Cosmic Legions figures that are coming out. Those are getting hard to resist. More on them later. In the meantime, though, if you want to expand your cosmic sort of futuristic setup, this guy, for example, straight out of Saga. This is Prince Robot here, essentially, but obviously legally distinct. But a royal regal character with a television for a head. Love it already. That's my favorite of this whole bunch. I think this looks terrific. Then again, we're going real kind of Buck Rogers in the 24th century or whatever century it was that he traveled to. Very retro future sci-fi. This red dude here, I won't lie. I'm not really taken by the look of this, but it looks very sort of kitsch, campy, Flash Gordon sort of sci-fi. So just to see that these are on the horizon, out there in the cosmos, yeah, it gives you something else to keep an eye on. In fact, that's what this episode is going to be all about. With all the PowerCon reveals, there's a lot to keep your eye on. And speaking of PowerCon, oh my goodness, NECA made their presence felt as well, showing off so many Ninja Turtles figures from all the different lines. Want to take a look at them? I know I do. Let's do that. So first of all, we've got another addition to the Turtles 2 Secret of the Ooze line, and it's Professor, what's his name? Jordan Perry. In his two different guises. You've got him in his normal Doc Brown style Professor gear, and also, it's not a prison jumpsuit, is it? It kind of looks like it. No, it's like safety, radiation type clothing. But yeah, they're really milking and mining Secret of the Ooze. They're going deep, and I guess there's a huge market for it, so fair play to you if you're a Secret of the Ooze person. There's, all the accessories again. I'm just not a fan of the NECA human face sculpts because they're too good, which means they're not quite right, which means it's the uncanny valley sort of thing. Like, if someone like that walked into my house and I was a dog, I'd look at them and go, like, it looks human, but not quite right. But having said that, actually getting this more close-up picture, it's pretty damn looking right. I mean, that's probably one of the better looking face sculpts, maybe because it does look a little bit cartoony, actually. It looks a bit exaggerated. I don't know, maybe the poor actor is like, actually, they scanned my face. That's just my face. I get comments like that on the videos too. People are like, why do you look like that? And I'm like, it's just my face. Regardless, we can go over now to some of the Mirage characters. Predominantly, Baxter Stockman we've got here in his human form, and I'm trying to think, does he turn into the Fly in the Mirage comics, or is he just Baxter Stockman? I assume he must do. I'm not au fait with the Mirage comics that much. Then we got ourselves animated Casey Jones, and I remember, a part of my child brain remembers him wearing a suit with the hockey mask. Can't remember what the story was, but it goes to show again, they're mining the series pretty deep. Then back over to Mirage, we've got a terrifying looking Rat King. I mean, that is the stuff of nightmares. NECA are great with recreating the comic book looks. Then Raphael, I was wondering what on earth was happening here at first, and then I realized, pizza dough? Is that a pizza that's flopped on his head? I'm gonna go with that. I hope that that's the case. Then we got a better look at Baxter, and again, I just love how it looks like they've taken the two-dimensional art and just plucked it off the page. Speaking of which, a badass looking Casey Jones with his thicker, more heavy-duty armor. Again, not familiar with where this appears, but it just looks very nice. And then we've got, what's his name? Kano. Is it Kano from Ninja Turtles 2? Once again, he looks the business. I love the story that this actor played one of the Turtles in the first movie, and people just liked him so much, and he was so kind of friendly and charismatic, they wrote a human role for him for the sequel, just so he could get, some face time. That's really sweet. Then, Samurai, animated, Michelangelo. Again, we're kind of going all over the place with some of these themes, but then, let's take a minute and pay some respect to the Turtle Van, because it might be expensive, but it looks the bomb.com. It looks the bee's knees. It looks the mutt's nuts. The dog's the dog's pajamas. Nope, that's not where I was going. The cat's pajamas. The dog's danglies. Regardless, it looks like a great Turtle Van. It looks a little bit squat. I always felt like the Turtle Van was a bit longer, but maybe that's just, I was a child the last time I saw it in a cartoon, so probably everything looked a little bit bigger back then. What's important is that all 4 turtles can fit inside it, and if they can, then that's all you really need. And then we've got the other cool dude turtles, I suppose. I don't know if that's a reference to anything, but they're wearing their leather jackets. And now, hoo-ha! Hoo! We've got Last Ronin, Michelangelo. I was about to say Michael Jackson. It's been a while since I've done good news. So, I was going to say Michael Jackson again. Michelangelo! In his pre-Last Ronin Turtles gear. And I said before, I don't want a figure of the Last Ronin because it's just pretty much a black costume, not very exciting. But this has way more intricate details going on, and this is something I could really get behind. Then we got some more pictures of cool dude turtles. Funnily enough, I used to own a jacket just like that Raphael's sporting. Then Donatello, Michelangelo. Why am I telling you their names? You know who the Ninja Turtles are. Got another foot soldier, which is like, I mean, we've had foot soldiers before, so is this something different? I don't think it is. But yeah, it's just funny to highlight it. But there you go. And some more with the Rat King and whatnot. Donatello, I'm not a fan of this other look. I know it goes with the pre-Last Ronin different looks for the Turtles, but yeah, Michelangelo looked good. This was a swing and a miss. And then yeah, just some more kind of product shots there. And then we've got 2 more of the new Universal Monsters wave. So we had the first one, and I thought, okay, well, they've done everyone. Good on you. But I guess they must have sold pretty well because NECA were like, whoa, 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 slow your roll. We're not done yet. whole lot more Universal monsters to come. And yeah, if you're a Ninja Turtles fan, the next 12 months might get expensive. Over now to Four Horsemen Studios and their Cosmic Legions wave, the newest one revealed, and it pains me, man. There's so much stuff that I want to spend my money on, but I know I shouldn't. I've only ordered the first wave of Cosmic Legions figures, and the other ones I haven't, so I think I'll be able to draw a line there, but when they put up figures like these, it's so tough. So this wave isn't just the figures, but they come with little diorama pieces as well, which is apparently a first for Four Horsemen. So that's another reason to think that I should do it, but I won't. But dang it, I'm going to enjoy looking at these. We've got Lizard Reptile Man here, and then we've got a couple of these dome bubble space helmets, and I love talking about the other cosmic figures earlier, that retro sci-fi kitsch kind of look. This is brilliant. I really, really love this. Also, we've got the even better, the female-looking alien with a great purple color scheme. I might talk myself into doing it just by filming this video. You can pre-order the whole set at a discounted rate of $299, I think, at the Four Horsemen website. So that's where you gotta go. This big chunky green alien dude here, again, just fun. Fun, interesting, unusual characters. Smaller one looks like a very Star Wars-y type of alien there. But I mean, they all are to an extent. And you've got this big deluxe creature. I would be really excited and interested to just play around with this in hand to see, well, how big are we talking here? I want to see the scale of it next to something, because there's no context for this. This could be like a Chihuahua, but I think it's a deluxe thing. And could you imagine if you've got, what's the name of the green guy? Slurg, the jail warden? Put a chain around that, have that as like a guard dog. Ah, that'd be badass. And speaking of badass, this guy. This just looks, this is my favorite of the wave. The head looks like the probe droid from Star Wars. You can hear him going like, that's my probe droid. Regardless, the jacket, the soft goods, trench coat, the duster, overcoat, he just looks wicked. I love the kind of gas mask type tube. He's straight up there as just a cosmic looking bounty hunter. Yeah, that if I buy one, it would be this guy. And then you've got these diorama pieces, and they're super fun as well. More props than like, you know, backdrop type dioramas, but also a backdrop space diorama is actually probably the easiest thing. Just find any just flat-ish piece of plastic with like ridges or rivets or something, you know, paint it gunmetal black, boom, congratulations, you got the inside of a spaceship right there. But yeah, these look nice as well. The entire wave together. Let me just do the math. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 figures, $299 plus shipping. Nah, I won't do it, but dang, it's tempting. And Mondo are also showing off their wares at PowerCon. This is their 1/6 scale animated X-Men line there. Sorry for the slightly blurry picture, but we got a big old Sabretooth and Wolverine. I won't linger on them because you've seen these before, but it's always nice to look at pretty action figures, isn't it? Now we got Doom Guy. And this is obviously a red alternate version. He's normally in the green, but again, it's 1/6 scale, which is good because that means I'm safe. I'm not probably going to spend that kind of money on a 1/6 scale figure. I like my shorter 1/12 scale figures, but looking at this is your ultimate Doom Guy there. Look at the size of that chainsaw. That's nuts. And it's not the Cacao Demon, it's some other demon. Whatever the demon's called, that looks baller. That whole set there looks amazing. Then, speaking of amazing, Skeletor on his Panther. Yeah, I was going to say Panthro. No, Dave? That's Thundercats. But Panther with, look at the horns on that thing. Yeah, amazing. And just these two as bookends. I mean, come on. That would make me want to buy books just to have bookends of these two guys either side. You can have He-Man on one, Skeletor on the other. Oh, just absolutely fantastic stuff. And speaking of fantastic, oh, Mondo, you're killing me. Beastman with the different textures, the cloth goods, the fluffy stuff, the chains. Again, if you wanted to get the ultimate action figure for Dave, just use every different type of element and material you possibly can. Every different type of material makes me feel this is an extra zhuzh figure. And Beastman, he's Zhuzh Michael right here. He's zhuzhed up to the max. And then with Trapjaw next to him. Yeah, and I can see Trapjaw, it says sold out. So fair play, guys, fair play. They deserve to be sold out. And then you got these other ones here. And this is, yeah, two different. I was checking to see if they were different styles or not. Got a nice little Batman display as well. Again, this is all stuff that we've seen before with the Man-Bats. I've shown you those, but yeah, Mondo, they're making some really fun-looking stuff. Creative Beast Studios have revealed some of my most anticipated figures. I remember talking and reporting on just concept art months ago. Creatures of the Cyberzoic. So they've done Creatures of the Mesozoic, which of course is their dinosaur range, and now we're going full Dino Riders, people. That's what we're doing. It's Dino Riders, and it's beautiful to see. It's an interesting kind of scale in that obviously the dinosaurs need to be a reasonable size, which means the people have to kind of measure up. So it looks sort of between your Star Wars Vintage and Star Wars Black sizes. Yeah, what is that going to be, like 5 inches or so? I'm trying to just eyeball what I'm looking at here. But first of all, it's great that you have the human figures or the humanoid figures, but really it's the dinosaurs covered in battle armor that we're here for. And boy howdy, it looks like they've had some real good fun with this. They've just taken like Japanese looking Gundam mechs and just strapped them onto the dinosaurs. And honestly, that's kind of all you really need to do. This looks like such a fun wave to follow. I'm going to be watching real close. You can see the humanoid type characters. This guy's got kind of a Judge Dredd sort of look to him, which is wicked. And I said that maybe they're smaller than your Black Series Marvel Legends, but I don't know. I'm going to have to do some deeper diving in this. So I apologize if some of this information is like a little bit cursory, or tertiary. That's the word I was looking for. If this is tertiary information, but y'all know it's been a long time since I did an episode of Good News, and there's so much to catch up on. I just want to show you all the good stuff because I like getting excited about these things, and I want you to get excited with me. And this is easy to get excited about. Friend of the show, Ramen Toys, have been showing their upcoming projects at PowerCon as well, and they've just revealed that they're hitting up some not Masters of the Universe type figures. We got a couple on display here with a barbarian looking guy wearing some battle armor and a skull-faced nemesis next to him. And again, the prototypes, the designs, the sculpt, they look good. How are they going to be in person? Time's going to tell, but it's nice to have more things to get excited about. Speaking of which, I mean, this Brave Star, strength of the bear, speed of the puma. It's never a puma. They always say Puma. Regardless, this dude here, the Marshal, this is, again, this is the childhood toy that you wanted to have. And actually, if I cast my mind back, Brave Star toys were actually pretty good. They really were well put together. Man, like, we have strayed far from God's light when I think about some of the things that, we're getting for our buck now. Regardless, this looks really, really great. And of course, the 3-0 anthropomorphic horse prototype. It's so much detail, so much work that goes into it. And a giant robot alien horse. Yes! Do I want to pose that with my Beta Ray Bill from Select? Yes! Do I want to pose that with my Mythic Legions horse guy here? Absolutely I do. In fact, the more I think about it, the more I think I'm going to have to hit up Ramen Toys and be like, hey, put me down for one of those 3-0s, because this ain't a paid endorsement, but man, from what I'm seeing, I'm endorsing it. And they're also giving us some Top Gun style action as well. You want some military fighter jet Air Force type people? Actually, I say Air Force, but no, they're technically the Navy, right? Isn't that how it works? I get confused. But these guys, they look good as well. I mean, that kind of is just my go-to line with so many of these things. Because let's face it, a toy manufacturer, easy for me to say, wouldn't bring their products to PowerCon and make them look bad. So this is a nice view of what you're getting here. Some replacement Dolph Lundgren heads. If the Mattel one doesn't really do it for you, it shouldn't. It looks a bit rough. That's cool. And a G.I. Joe type figure as well. We got the Maverick Top Gun style accessories there, and a big one, as I was saying, some not Masters of the Universe figures. Look at this. The gray is the prototype, and bad to the bone prototype. Bad to the bone. Of course it is. Look at it. This this again, it just takes me back to my childhood, but it's what you wanted to have. This is like the ultimate version. So yeah, this people carrier, I guess is what it's called. Yeah, that looks awesome. And speaking of awesome, we've got the Ramen Racer, a test shot here as well to show you an idea of what they can do, what they can put together and get. And yeah, you know, it essentially is like the HasLab, not one for one identical, but it's something that is there for anyone who is just gutted they couldn't get that Ghost Rider car, because a lot of people were kind of happy to see the HasLab fail, and I'm probably one of them. I'm like, yeah, I didn't want to see that get funded and set that precedence, but I'm sure there were a lot of people who really wanted that Dodge Charger. Well, boom, there you go, there's one for you. And Matt Tracker, or not Matt Tracker, Bat Tracker in his Gullwing sample. This, I swear, when I was a child, I manifested getting this because I was desperate for this toy, and I just thought, my folks never going to buy it for me. And then I think my sister's godfather just turned up with it as a gift for me, like, hey Dave, have this. And I genuinely thought, I have magic powers. I am a god. I am a golden god. And I just stuck with that mindset ever since. You got to be in it to win it, am I right? Then we got the Dukes of Hazzard car over here, but yeah, the General Lee. Oh, they actually call it the General Lee. Or they have stickers. There you go. They have stickers and transfers. That's what says the General Lee. That's, again, as a 1/12 scale car, it's gonna look bad. Because I was just thinking, like, I don't really want a Ghost Rider, but having a 1/12 scale car for like just a diorama piece, yeah, there's something to be said for that. And then this, I think, yeah, another not mask vehicle as well. And yeah, Ramen Toys, they're hacking into my 80s and just, you know, attaching it to my veins. And honestly, I'm not mad about that. Going over to more kind of regular toy news now, Super 7 are showing off some of their reaction Godzilla figures. And these are 4 straight from the Showa era. So it's that kind of classically goofy sort of Godzilla, which honestly, you know, I was almost like, I don't watch that, heaven forbid. It's getting very on my high horse there, but yeah, I'm more into your 80s and 90s badass Godzilla. But hey, kitsch is camp, and camp is popular, and this retro sort of style, yeah, people dig it. So it's a fun looking set nonetheless. Now this one really got my attention. Heat Boys, who make the Leonardo behind me, they're doing pretty much everything. I thought they were just going to do the 4 turtles. Then I saw they're doing Shredder. Then they're doing a Splinter one. They're doing a transforming turtle van. And now we've got Mecha. Well, we will have the Mecha April O'Neil. And yeah, if you just told me like, oh, they're going to do an April O'Neil version, I'd think that sounds kind of weird. Not sure about that. But then looking at this concept design here, I'm like, yeah, this actually looks really cool. Very RC from the Transformers, and I kind of dig that. You just think if the yellow was pink, boom, there you go, straight out of the '86 movie. But yeah, I wasn't gonna get all in on this line, and I'm not, because they are expensive. But maybe just the Leonardo and April. I could manage with just getting 2. I'll see if I can stick with that. Loose Collector has shown off his prototype for his new upgraded female body, and it's boasting better joints, thicker, more durable ones, improved articulation, tinkered ankle rocker type joints, and a wazzo pair of gazongas by the looks of it. So yeah, if you ask me, everything seems to check out. Now, speaking of tasteful nudes, which is not something that I thought I'd say on this show, we've got Ramenkey Cowls manufacturers. You can tell I'm trying to figure out more about this line and these creators, but these blank bodies essentially are doing the rounds. So if you're a customizer, if you're a creator, then these might just be the absolute perfect 1/12 scale bodies that you can get. When I find where you can order them from, when they're going to be available, what the whole deal is, basically, I'll let you know, because again, this is just stuff that's popping up on the old feed ski that I want to send your way. So these just look like kind of beautiful art projects. But yeah, you can see the musculature and the joints and the articulation. 1/12 scale, like this is what 1/12 scales should be like. So also just for artists' references, the more I'm looking at this, the way that they have got so many great like muscle striations and the definitions there, these are just really impressive. The more I see them, the more I'm like, dang. Kind of makes me want to become a customizer, but I'm not going to do that. That's like a lot of work. We've got a sneaky look at YOLO Park's new Megatron figure that's kind of doing the preview rounds, and I was thinking about getting myself a classic G1 animated Megatron, and I'm just like, where can I find a classic G1 animated Megatron? Oh yeah, there it is. Thanks, YOLO Park. Now these ones, they normally come as more of a kit. Not like a really intricate. Wow, I'm playing a shocker today. Yeah, you can see the number of parts that he comes in. It's really, the arms, the legs, and just the little bits here and there. But it's kind of fun to piece them together. I did the Beast Wars Optimus Prime, and that was a good time. And because it is a kit, you can put some different accessories on as well. So you got the battle damage chest. I love the grinning expression. It looks like he's got the light up eyes as well. Yeah, die cast. They're saying all the right things. I'll keep an eye out for this one because, yeah, I think this might be the animated Megatron that goes into my Prime collection. Because right now, Megatron's a bit outnumbered. And this dude, yeah, he'll even the odds nicely. GD Toys are doing a Cobra Baroness figure from G.I. Joe, or Action Force if you're in the UK, and she's going to retail for approximately $175 coming out towards the end of this year. And at a glance, it looks really impressive. So we're talking a Hot Toys kind of style here. I've heard mixed reviews about some of their older figures, and I'm trying to put in my head what those older figures were so I could give you any kind of pertinent information, but no, it escapes me. But what I'm hearing is that they're good, but they're not like established 100% yet as like, these are the new dogs, get out of here, Hot Toys. But again, from what I can see, do I like the face sculpt? I don't know. I think I might do, but it is again that sort of slightly uncanny valley. It's not human, it's not anime, it's somewhere in the middle, and you know what? Yeah, that looks a little bit haunting. I'm not sure if that one's for me. Boss Fight Studios have shown off more of their Masked Republic Lucha Libre action figures. So, first of all, they're just showing us off Ultimo Dragon here. And these figures look pretty good. Black Taurus as well. Going back to Ultimo, I can't see any torso crunch or anything, so you might be a little bit limited with your articulation, but I guess these are more your representative statue type action figures as opposed to your articulated comic book art, super highly I was going to say articulated again. I'll stick with it now. Not editing this. So they look fun if you're a Lucha Libre guy. Me, I'm more your Western and your Japanese wrestling. Lucha Libre, I could never really, I couldn't bond with it. I like some of the moves, but ultimately I look at a lot of stuff and go, no, that's far too silly. Where's that wrestling mortician? And after all the indie showcases, let's round out the toy news with about as mainstream a figure as you can get. It's a McFarlane Batman. We're getting a Dark Knights of Steel, that's the name of the story, I think, version of Batman. So yeah, a medieval armor Batman. Again, folks, eat these things up. Todd wouldn't make them if people didn't buy them, so I'm sure that this one's going to sell just as well. And I mean, hey, look, at a glimpse, it's going to be a badass looking costume. So if you just want another mean, awesome looking armored up Batman, well, you can't go far wrong. But actually, looking at this picture, I feel like his lips, he's got a bit of the old Marvel Legends lipstick going on there. I'm not sure what McFarlane's paint techniques for their faces are like, if they've changed things up a little bit, but yeah, looks like he needs to add a little rouge to those cheeks as well. But hey, it all comes down to what it looks like in hand, and eventually some of you'll be able to let me know. And folks, that does it for Good News for today. This was a very truncated episode. Wow, I finally got a clever word out right the first time. It's right at the end of the show. This has been a bit of a truncated show just because it's been a long time. Shouldn't have left you without a dope beat to step to since I last did an episode of Good News. So I just wanted to catch up on all the toy stuff. And then when I come back with the next one, we're going to be hitting all the classics. Movies, video games, pro wrestling, comic books, any weird, bizarre stories, cosplay, and of course, all the beloved action figures. So stay tuned for that, and stay tuned for a whole bunch of other stuff coming up on the channel, because dang it, I'm a busy bee right now, and it's all to put out good content for the shows. I hope you enjoy it. So until next time, that was rubbish. Better. Keep displaying model behavior.
Coffee, big time.